Matt Brown confronts his addiction demons once again, the tough road to recovery and rehab.
What if the woman you thought you knew, Amy Brown, the gentle matriarch of Alaskan Bush People, was hiding years of heartbreak, betrayal, and deep resentment? For decades, she stood silently behind her family, weathering storms and sacrifice. But now, she's breaking that silence. In a shocking revelation, Amy finally opens up about the 5 people from her world she quietly resented the most, some closer than you'd ever expect. Why did she hold back for so long? And what made her speak now? Stay with us, because this changes everything you thought you knew. The world first met the Brown family in 2014, when Discovery Channel introduced Alaskan Bush People. The show promised viewers a raw, unscripted glimpse into life off the grid, deep in Alaska's untouched forests. It was a hit. Audiences were fascinated by the family's resourcefulness, their tight bond, and their unique lifestyle. Billy, the bold leader, Amy, the nurturing mother, and their children. Matt, Joshua, Bam Bam, Bear, Gabe, Noah, Birdie, and Rain. They were unlike anything TV had seen. But as time went on, cracks began to appear in the illusion. People started asking questions. Was it really all that wild? Were they truly living isolated lives? Or was it just television magic? Off-screen, the Browns were facing legal troubles. In 2015, Billy and Bam Bam took a plea deal after being accused of accepting over $21,000 in Alaska Permanent Fund payments, despite not being eligible. 60 charges were filed against the family, ranging from theft to falsification. Yet, the cameras kept rolling. The show went on, season after season, but the truth behind the scenes became harder to ignore. While the world focused on Billy, few noticed how much Amy was sacrificing. She wasn't just a supporting character in a television drama. She was a woman losing her voice. Her life had started long before the cameras arrived, back in Texas, where at just 15 years old, she met a scruffy 26-year-old man named Billy Brown. He was adventurous, persuasive, and looking for a life beyond the rules. Within months, Amy left her childhood behind. Her family agreed to the marriage on one condition, that she finish school. But that promise was quickly broken. Her brother Les Branson remembers trying to reach out, but it was no use. Billy, he says, took control, isolating Amy from everyone she once knew. Her mother, Erlene Mima Branson, spent decades trying to reconnect. When Amy was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer in 2017, Erlene made desperate calls to hospitals, hoping for a chance to speak with her daughter again. But the silence was never broken. Before she passed away in 2020, Erlene, who suffered from Alzheimer's, sometimes confused television with reality. She would watch Alaskan Bush People, thinking Amy was already gone. Her final words to her son? "Tell Amy I forgive her." The cancer diagnosis shook the entire Brown family. Doctors gave Amy just a 3% chance of survival. She dropped to 77 pounds and was too weak to walk on her own. Against all odds, by the end of 2018, Amy was declared cancer-free. The family relocated permanently to Washington to be closer to medical care, leaving their Alaskan homestead behind. But peace didn't last long. In early 2025, Amy was rushed to the emergency room once again, this time with severe chest pain and pneumonia. She was placed into a medically induced coma, her lungs in critical condition. Fans, who had fallen in love with her spirit, flooded social media with prayers and memories. "You got through cancer, Amy. You'll get through this too," one wrote. Slowly, she recovered. But the trauma was undeniable. Even more painful than the illness was the betrayal that followed. In 2025, just days before Rain and her husband Josiah were arrested, Noah Brown, Amy's son, called the police on his own mother. He claimed she was behaving strangely, had possibly been introduced to meth, and wasn't taking her medications. To some, it sounded like a son worried about his mother. But to Amy, it felt like a knife in the back. This was the same boy she had raised in the wilderness, under the trees, by the river. He hadn't come to her. He had gone to strangers, law enforcement. And whether or not there was truth in what he said, what mattered most was that he believed it. Her heart broke. Again. It wasn't the first time Noah had turned on his sister. In 2024, he and his then-wife filed a restraining order against Rain, citing years of harassment and alleged threats. He claimed Rain had once told him the world would be better if he didn't exist. The accusations included animal abuse and terrifying altercations. Amy, caught in the middle of her children's war, remained silent. But her silence spoke volumes. Another wound came from Matt Brown, the eldest. Once the leader of the pack, Matt began struggling with addiction in 2016. Later, 2 women came forward with allegations of assault against Matt. Stories dark and disturbing. The family never addressed the claims. Amy never defended him. But the hurt lingered. Then came the lawsuit. In 2020, a doctor named Robert Maughan filed a claim against Billy's estate, saying he had invested $30,000 years earlier and was promised 10% of all creative profits. After Billy's death, Amy was named in the case. She never spoke about it publicly, but those close to her say it reopened old wounds. The past just wouldn't let her go. And yet, amid all this pain, something unexpected began to happen. In 2025, fans noticed a shift. During a TikTok live streamed by her daughter Bird, Amy's voice could be heard in the background. She giggled. She said, "Baby." It was a simple word, but it sent shockwaves. Was Amy Brown dating? The internet exploded with theories. And then, during a small, casual gathering, someone asked her how she was doing. She smiled, eyes soft, and said, "He's the love of my life." Just 6 words, but they changed everything. Was she talking about Billy? Or was it someone new? Fans started digging. A name surfaced, Kenny. No one knows much about him. Some say he's a family friend. Others claim he works at a junkyard near their Washington property. He's been seen in the background of social clips, helping with chores, carrying groceries, always out of focus, never center stage. But the truth is, it doesn't matter who he is. What matters is what he represents. For the first time since she was 15 years old, Amy Brown is making a choice for herself. She spent her entire life in someone else's shadow, her identity tied to Billy's dream. She was a teenage bride, a mother of 7, a caregiver, and a TV matriarch. She survived cancer, loss, betrayal, and heartbreak. And now, she's allowing herself to feel something soft, something new. Amy Brown didn't choose fame. She didn't ask to be on television. But when life gave her the spotlight, she showed the world grace, loyalty, and quiet resilience. And now, she's showing us something even braver: the courage to begin again. If this story touched your heart, show your support. Like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Because sometimes, the quietest voices carry the loudest truths. Keep watching for more powerful stories. Thanks for watching.